Hey, Taurus. Welcome to your love and romance reading for June 2021. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you're sick and tired of love readings, I always see that in the comments. You came to the right channel. You just clicked on the wrong video, my darlings. Every week I do a weekly forecast where I talk about everything other than love. Once a month I do a love reading, and that's what this is here. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for you guys, my dears. What's going on in June? One more shuffle. One more shuffle. I feel like this great big burst of energy, right? Almost like this volcano erupting, but not like in an angry way, not like an anger volcano, but more like this burst of emotion and just like this flowing of energy. So some of you are getting unblocked in a really big way, and some of you might find yourselves gushing over somebody, or somebody's gushing over you. We'll see what the cards have to say. I thought that was an interesting visual that came up at the start. So first card here, my dears. We have Page of Wands. Okay. Page of Wands can be very impulsive, spur of the moment, live for the moment, you only live once kind of energy. Okay. A lot of the times when Page of, okay, and let me back up here. Traditionally, Page of Wands could indicate that some of you are dealing with a younger fire sign, or a fire sign who might be very youthful in their spirit, very playful in their spirit. Could indicate just a playful, youthful person, not necessarily always younger, but just someone maybe young at heart. So there could be, for some of you here, a fire sign that you're dealing with. However, for me in my readings, some of you have heard me say Page of Wands tends to come up in my readings when there's like this, almost like this a second adolescence, right? Maybe when you were younger, Taurus, you didn't get to have what we see in the Western culture, in the movies and TV, where like teenagers get to like go off and be with their friends, and they have boyfriends and girlfriends, and they're going on dates and going to parties, and you didn't really get to do that kind of stuff growing up, either because of your culture, or your family obligations and responsibilities, or your religion, or whatever it was. You may have not had a chance to live that kind of life and to find and explore yourself in that way as a teenager. So something is coming in where it's like this teenager kind of love, this teenager kind of attraction. Someone's maybe making you feel like a teenager again. Like I said, I felt there was like this bursting of just feelings and just passion and fire, and just like it just flowing, outpouring. So some of you might be very impulsive in June, or somebody's coming up that's like bringing up those impulses in you. Okay, these are general readings. Sometimes they can, how can I say, sometimes it reverses. So it could be triggered, it could be Taurus, that some of you have triggered this kind of feeling or energy in somebody else, where they're just, ooh, like they just need some Taurus right now. Okay, that kind of feeling, that kind of vibe. So it's very impassioned energy. Those of you that are in this energy, I'm just going to say a word of caution for me when Page of Wands comes up. Page of Wands doesn't always think about consequences, right? Kind of like a teenager. They live for the moment, and it's like they do what they want to do, and they worry about the consequences later. So it's going to be up to you to ground yourself and to catch yourself, and to not lose your reason, not lose your logic. Have fun. By all means, my darlings, have fun. Have fun. But stay grounded, and don't go too far. Don't get too impulsive. Make sure that you have good boundaries set. Okay? I do feel some of you are meeting somebody online. Again, I just have to say this. I cannot stress enough. Be cautious. Make sure if you're meeting strangers, don't like get on a plane and go to another country somewhere where you're unfamiliar, and just like show up at their house. Or even if it's not another country, don't show up at somebody's house. Don't have them show up at your house. Make sure you're meeting in a public place. Make sure you're meeting in a safe place. Make sure you feel out this person in real life before you go being in a vulnerable situation or being alone with them. I don't care how much you've Skyped with them or video chatted or Zoomed or FaceTimed or whatever. Just make sure that everything's good before you go, exploring that kind of energy. Just safety first, my dears. Your next card here, ooh, is the Knight of Wands. Oh wow. I'm gonna tell you why I'm giggling right now. Okay, traditionally Knight of Wands could be somebody who comes in and out of your life, and you guys may have heard me. Oop, what is going on? Do I have an intruder? Alright, I'm back. Here's the culprit. I had a little amethyst owl that the wind knocked over off the windowsill. Okay, so the reason why I was giggling, some of you have heard me talk about the Knight of Wands in terms of like, this person's like an outdoor cat, right? Like you can't turn them into a house cat. They can't handle it. By nature, they need to be out there. They need to be able to come and go. It's a characteristic. It's a way somebody's wired a lot of the times in my readings. Okay, and Knight of Wands can sometimes indicate impulses and passion and ultimatums and that kind of energy. But this is why I giggled. Okay, we're starting off as the page, and then it's growing. To me, to have the Knight of Wands follow the Page of Wands tells me something is building. It's building up. It's just like, ooh. So some of you Taurus, be careful. Some of you are starting a fire in June, and you think it's funny, and you're being playful, almost like this bantering energy. But then, boom, it's like somebody's like, oh, like, don't tease. Don't tease me, Taurus. Don't tease me, Taurus. And so I feel like something is building, and it's like, oh, I have to. I have to. I have to. So this is super important. If you are a Taurus, that you're already in a relationship and you think you're just playing around with somebody at work, or you think you're just joking around with somebody online, and you're just, oh, it's just innocent flirtation. It's building, and it's growing to a point where it's like you guys are like, you have to do this, you have to have each other. It's becoming really physical, really physical. Okay, so don't start it. If you don't, if you're like, oh gosh, I hope that doesn't happen, don't start it. Don't start playing with fire if you don't want fire, because it's building. It is building. I see passion here building. I also feel that those of you Taurus who've been wanting a more like, and again, the roles could reverse. Some of you who are maybe wanting somebody a little more dominant in the bedroom, or maybe you're wanting somebody a little bit more submissive in the bedroom, whatever it might be. I feel some of you, those of you who have like been interested in playing around with that, you're manifesting it. Okay, like just maybe somebody who's a little bit more assertive, or a little bit more take charge, or maybe you're stepping into that energy because you want to be the one who's assertive and you want to be the one who's taking charge. But I definitely am getting that kind of dynamic here. I'm getting a lot of physical energy, root chakra, primal, just kind of energy here. No, Taurus. So don't start none if you don't want none. Is all I can say, because I feel like if you try to step away from this, or if you try to disconnect, this other person is like persistent, like Taurus, please, 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 like, what do you need me to do? Like what do I have to do? Like they're gonna try whatever they can try to win you over, and to have that chance with you. Okay, I'm hearing a song. There's like this old 80s song, and I can't remember who it's by, but it's like, you're my obsession. Who do you want me to be to make you sleep with me? I'm hearing that song. Like, I feel like this person is just like they have to have you. And they're like, you tell me what the rules are, you tell me what you want from me. uh like they're just like, whatever it takes, like, just, they want to smash. That's what I'm getting here. Yeah, I don't know, kids probably don't say that these days anymore, but that's what's coming to me. Your next card here, my dears, ooh, is the Ten of Swords. So, okay, passion building. And maybe this passion is going to be, for some of you, the driving force here that's causing you to step away from an uncomfortable situation or from some place where you weren't happy. Maybe for some of you, you're feeling this passion, and it's kind of like what's motivating you to step away from a relationship that wasn't going anywhere. Or it's helping you to overcome your insecurities and old karmic cycles. Okay, some of you have a karmic who's coming back in a big, 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 big way, and if this is the case, I feel like you already know, you already feel it coming. If you're done, if you've closed it, you've closed it. But some of you kind of sense that somebody might be resurfacing. I feel June might be that they're coming back, and you're shutting it down in a big way. Like, this is it. This is the final. Not this time. Not this time. You're not gonna be able to get in this time. Like, done, 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 done. I do feel that for some of you, I hate to say this, and don't take it as like a negativity thing, because it might not necessarily be negative if you can keep my first piece of advice in mind, when I was basically saying, like, have fun but stay grounded. Like, as long as you stay grounded and you don't abandon your logic, you'll be fine. I feel some of you might be giving up one addiction for another, and the other might be this physical relationship. Some of you might be getting really into, like, finding comfort or finding reassurance through, like, physical intimacy. And there's a fine line there. That doesn't necessarily mean that physical interaction or physical intimacy has to be an addiction, but it might be a way in which you're comforting yourself as you're letting go of some kind of self-medicating or addictive behavior in some other way. Like, maybe you're giving up smoking, or maybe you're trying to cut back on drinking, or maybe you're trying to cut back on, like, emotional eating, or whatever it might be. Some of you are finding that you're starting to get more, like, I don't know what words I can see on YouTube, but you know, wanting to, having that urge to merge kind of thing going on here. Your next card here, my darlings, is the Eight of Swords. Okay. Eight of Swords typically can be that we're feeling stuck or trapped in a situation. If you're feeling stuck or trapped in a situation, I feel somebody is coming along that, like, you're wanting this person so bad that it's helping you take steps in your life to get out of whatever the situation is where you feel stuck. If it's a dead end relationship, if it's a living situation, if it's some financial hurdles you need to overcome, whatever it might be, I feel like there's this motivation to get you unstuck. The reason why I kind of chuckled in that kind of way, oh my gosh, my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. Sometimes, and I'm trying to keep it rated G here, but I don't have control over the messages as they come up. And I know some of you might be like, wow, this is getting really serious, or this is going to a very weird dynamic here. I work with angel energy, and I focus on healing. So I always pray that the messages come in for healing. Some of you might have a Scorpio placement, because Scorpios tend to heal through physical interaction and physical intimacy. Or maybe some of you are gonna match up with a Scorpio here who's bringing some of that energy into your life. But when we talk about physical things, somebody might be like, well, how can you be, like working with angel energy, if you're talking about, the word that rhymes with Lex, YouTube doesn't want me to say that word. Um, but this is the thing, we're humans, and that physical interaction is a part of the human experience. It's a part of what makes us human. And sometimes the Eight of Swords, especially with these other cards that are coming in, and the energy and the vibe that I'm feeling here around, like, like an assertive energy, and somebody who just kind of likes to follow that assertive energy and that passion kind of energy. Sometimes Eight of Swords could be something where you're kind of playing around with, like, being bound. Okay, is all I'll say. I'm trying to kind of keep this PG-13, some kind of restraints. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be anything scary. It could be like very light, and something that maybe is like easy for you to get out of. But some of you might be exploring that as a part of your healing. If you are Taurus, I am begging you that you exercise caution. Okay, exercise caution. I feel like you guys are exploring your vulnerability. You're exploring your vulnerability. And in the right situation, when you're doing it in the right situation, in a right dynamic, this kind of thing can be healing to some people. But if you're dealing with someone who is like not in a good state of mind, and they're doing it in like a sick or twisted kind of way, you don't want to be vulnerable with that kind of a person. So those of you who've been wanting to explore this and you haven't done it before, be super super cautious if you're going like out trying to find a community or trying to meet somebody who's into it. Other ones of you might explore it within an existing relationship, and in my opinion, I think that's safest. I think it's safest if it's somebody that somebody that and somebody that isn't gonna get all out of hand and all crazy with it. Okay. But overall, some of you might be exploring vulnerability through what's happening in the bedroom. Not all of you are going to get it as far into it as like being restrained or restraining somebody. It might be in other ways, role play, or like some kind of thing. But I feel, Taurus, like you guys are exploring your vulnerability, you're exploring your attraction to power, you're exploring being the one in power. I feel like there's this fluidity, and like just a lot of passionate energy and a lot that you're clearing and moving. Some of you may have things that happen to you in your younger life that um happened before you could put it into words. So even if you go to therapy, right, it might be difficult to talk about that stuff because it happened before a time that you had a vocabulary that you could describe it. And it doesn't have to be something like, somebody touching you inappropriately or anything like that. It could just be something that kind of scared you within, like, feeling a little bit powerless as a kid, or witnessing something between your parents or the adults in your family that kind of like freaked you out. So I feel like some of you are experimenting and exploring and playing around with power dynamics. And I feel like a lot of you, whatever's going on, if you're stressed out or whatever's happening, a lot of it's getting channeled in through here, through the root chakra, and through this physical connection. All right. I just feel a lot of physical energy here in that way. Your next card is the Page of Pentacles. I'm chuckling here. Okay, Page of Pentacles. Some of you are like, uh-oh, is there a kid coming? There could be, because pages sometimes have to do with children. But the reason why I'm chuckling, gosh, with all this going on, there could be a kid coming for some of you. But the reason why I'm chuckling is the Page of Pentacles for me is a card that comes up when we've cleared our head and we're like clear about what we want to do, and we're grounded and we're ready to focus our attention and energy on like one thing. Like we're like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. And for some of you, this is having to do with where you're investing your time, your energy, your money. You might be putting something into a business. You might be going back to school or beginning to focus on a career change. But there's some shift you're making financially and some shifts that you're making in your career. But I feel like uh oh gosh, like there's this huge physical burst coming through you, right? There's this physical passion energy, and after that satisfaction is received, you're like, oh gosh, now I can think. Now I can focus. Now I know what I want to do. Now I know what I'm going to do. It could even be that this is like giving you that pep in your step and giving you the confidence to where, like, well, you know what? Now I'm going to go do this. Now I'm going to go do that. Right. So I just feel like it's maybe towards some of you just need to be grounded. You just need to be grounded. And I feel like you're grounding through this physical exchange. And then it's like you having that satisfaction, you're having that release. And now you're like, now I can think. Now I can think. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to invest my time and my energy. Right. So some of you are investing time and energy into this relationship, but I feel and like having it grow, so it's not just the boom boom, but also here like your future plans. I just feel like you're just like, oh gosh, like now I can think, now I can focus. So Taurus. Interesting reading. I would encourage you to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos, as well as your Venus. If this isn't your Venus sign, or if it's not your moon or rising, make sure you check those out as well. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. And don't forget the weekly forecasts. Podcasts will be coming back soon. I promise, guys. They will be regular. But like as I said in the some of the weekly videos, I've been traveling a lot. I've had stuff going on with my family. I'm just trying to get settled here. So there will be podcasts again, and I will have that manifestation podcast coming. But again, thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Don't forget the weekly forecasts. Take care, my darlings. Bye.